3027/1.
Amendment number 1.
So much to be considered the reading of the amendment.
So ordered.
Body, I am giving you all one last chance to do the right thing here. One last chance. As it was just discussed, this bill is not intended to allow for children to be having surgery. That's what the gentle lady from Montgomery County did state. So I am offering you this amendment so that tonight when you go to bed, and in 10 years, and in 15 years when you're sleeping, however long it takes for the medical apparatus of our country to wake up and realize that what they've been perpetrating on children has been bad medicine with poor research behind it and poor statistics. I'm offering you this amendment so that you can sleep better knowing that you stopped this from happening to children who are too young to consent to the mutilation of their little bodies. I would also encourage this body, again, no one came to me on the studies about suicide, although a few media organizations did, God bless them. Research what happens to these children physically after they have these surgeries. Research what happens to these children who used to have a penis, who now have a vagina, and how hard they have to work every single day to maintain that. Go on YouTube and look at what it actually entails. Look at what you are allowing to happen to our children. If it's feeling uncomfortable right now, it should be. You can only imagine how much more uncomfortable it is for the children that are going through this. So this amendment, Madam Speaker, prevents those surgeries from occurring in minor children. If that's not the goal of this bill, if this bill is not intended to allow for these things to happen to minor children, then this is your opportunity to put it in writing and say, unless there is a born defect, or, sometimes children are born as hermaphrodites, or those surgeries are completely permissible. But the ones who are for the sole purpose of transitioning a child from their born gender into another gender cannot be done under the age of 18. So for all of the reasons I've previously stated and all of the reasons that you guys should be researching on your own, I press my amendment, Madam Speaker.
Vice Chair of the committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do appreciate the gentle lady's persistence and getting the amendment in advance. I would ask the body to resist this amendment for the reasons that we spoke about earlier in our earlier discussions. No child is making this decision. Let me say it again. No child is making this decision. A decision to undergo treatment, and by treatment I mean many different things, beginning with mental health services, beginning with some social interaction kinds of services, beginning with potentially puberty blockers, if that's the decision that is made with the patient, the parent, and the medical provider, if it is determined that it is medically necessary and indicated for this individual. No child is making this decision independently. No parent is making this decision for their child without informed consent and a medical provider, and actually it's more than one medical provider. It's required for surgery, any kind of surgery, that there be at least 2 medical providers involved in, and it is so rare in children, that adolescents, it's so rare in adolescents, and the reason that it is ever done, ever, in those very, very rare occasions, is because the parent and the medical provider and the patient believe that they are in danger if without that kind of treatment. That is the otherwise they will wait until after they are 18. we as legislators cannot insert ourselves into the health decisions that families are making. And that's what this bill would do. We would say under no circumstances can we allow an individual who is at risk of self-harm, serious risk for self-harm, to not get the treatment they need. And I would remind the body that this is on a very individual, case-by-case discussion, and with a lot of things, a lot of factors being considered, that this body can't possibly know what's happening in that family between the patient and the parent, with consultation with their medical provider. So I would ask the body to resist the amendment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The maker of the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. There have been lots of medical treatments over the years they've continued for decades and decades. Doctors have been saying, this is medically necessary, this is the right treatment, this is the best we can offer. That's not what's happening here. This is not the best we can offer. The treatments that we're doing to these children are permanently damaging. All this amendment says is that irreversible changes, irreversible gender reassignment surgeries cannot be done on children. There are a lot of crazy doctors in this world. I take my kids to second opinions all the time. If one doctor tells me one thing, I get at least another opinion. Oftentimes I get two, and I'm not always liked for it, but I don't really give a crap. My job is to protect my child from bad medicine. Bad medicine kills 500,000 people a year in America, at least. At least. It is like the third leading cause of death in our country. Some might say it's an epidemic. So there's a lot of bad medicine that happens all over the world. And I will absolutely guarantee you that down the road, people in here with a deep conscience will regret how they behaved on this day and regret that they voted green on this bill and that they voted red on this amendment. Because the information will come forward eventually. The truth always finds a way to come out. It will come out, and there will be someone in your office crying because of what happened to them and asking, why didn't you protect me? So, Madam Speaker, I urge the body to please vote green on this amendment so that you will not have someone in your office one day telling you, why did you not protect me? I was a child. I move my amendment.
On the amendment, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed?